everyone. Mitch coming in from the Commander's Corps studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, let's talk about how these commanders are crushing it right now, and here's why. Well, let's jump into it. So let's start things off at number 10 with the commander that over the past week has nearly 1,000 decks to its name, 957 decks made in the last week. That is a ton, and yet still, a lot of decks are getting made right now. Still, that is only good enough for 10th there. That being said, there's an absurd amount of commanders that came out recently, still coming out, so yeah, it's very impressive that Hope Estim is here, and I'm definitely going to be mispronouncing names, so my apologies. Anyways, a 2/2 human wizard with lifelink for 2 mana in Azorius. Beginning of your end step, each opponent mills X cards, wrecks the amount of life you gained this turn. So basically, life gain equals library drain. That's not, but that's a bad, no, that was bad. No, okay, life gain equals mill. Let's just go with that. We don't need to rhyme it. Anyways, being able to mill your opponents super quickly is super fun. There's only so many commanders that can do it. And to be honest, well, this is a very effective one at that. It is, well, a commander that is maybe not at Brewvax level of, combo-centricity. That's not a word. But a way to essentially gain life. You've got plenty of ways to do that very, very, very quickly. And yeah, you can do some absolutely insane things with life doubling effects, with cards like Congregate that gain you just a burst of life out of nowhere based on the number of creatures at the table, ×2. You got life doubling effects. You can mill players out in absolutely no time. Mill players are always chomping at the bit for a new commander that can do it well, that can do it better than others. And this is a different direction again. Life gain equals mill equals library drain. Let's stick with that, I guess. Anyways, Hope is taking over with mill. Next up, a face only a mother could love. Hey, Regast. Tigre Gastronaut is here. A 2/2 lobster citizen, because that's the thing in Magic these days. For 2 mana in Boros. Artifacts you control are foods that issue through other types and have pay 2, sacrifice artifact. You gain 2 life. The whole, food thing. You gain 3 life, I should say. Pay 1 tap, sacrifice a food, 3 damage each opponent. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, untap Regast. Now, here's the thing. This is the commander so far that has broken out of Edge of Eternity to say, hey, you know what? Over the past week, I already have 968 decks to my name, which is insane. Again, the set hasn't come out. The cards are not there, but players are like, I need to build around this lobster because lobster. Yeah, being able to essentially build a deck where you are taking advantage of this, it's really not all that hard to do, especially since you got access to white as well. With this kind of a commander, well, all you need to do is, gain life each turn. Which, sure, you can sacrifice foods to do that. That costs a lot of mana to do that, though, over and over again. Or, here's the thing, you just give this lifelink. You just give this lifelink, and all of a sudden, you're like, okay, I sacrifice 1 food, I deal 3 damage to each opponent. Cool. All right, I did that. All right, end step, untap. Oh, cool. All right. Because I gain life. Sweet. All right, so it's 3 damage each opponent. It's 9 total damage I just did. I gained 9 life. Next turn. Pay 1, tap, sacrifice another artifact. Okay, cool. Which is a food. Cool. 3 damage each opponent again. Okay, I gained another 9 life. Untap again. Based with each trip around the table, as long as you've got enough artifacts to do so, and of course you're going to have plenty of artifact token generators, plenty of artifacts that maybe can recur. You got plenty of ways to get artifacts back in play. Yeah, you're going around the table dealing 12 damage to each opponent. That's, again, 36 damage in total, and you're gaining all of that life as well. Is that math correct? I guess with each trip around the table includes your turn as well. So that'd be 48, actually, damage in total. No, that's you. That's counting you, too. I did it right the first time, 36. Anyways, being able to essentially go, hey, I'm gaining an absurd amount of life. Probably seeing some ways to, get a benefit off that life gain too. But of course, ways to go, okay, I'm doubling up the damage. I'm tripling up the damage potentially. I have other kinds of triggers that are happening as well when I sacrifice those artifacts. It is a really cool commander that takes foods, artifacts, and life gain all in a different direction. Have fun with this one. And I should have mentioned that if you are interested in any of these commanders, there's a card list link in the description below, and Terra Magical Adept is in there too. A 4/2 Human Wizard Warrior for 3 mana, and you might think this is a Gruul commander, but it's not. Anyways, 1,053 decks over the past week still. When this enters, mill 5 cards, put up to 1 enchantment card milled this way in your hand. Cool. That being said, here's what matters. Pay 6 mana in total and tap, exile Terra, then return to the battlefield, transform to total control, activate only as a sorcery. So you flip this over and all of a sudden you've got Esper Terra, a legendary enchantment creature saga wizard, because that's the thing, which is a 6/6. And as it enters, and after your draw step, you get a lore counter, obviously, just like any kind of a saga. First, second, and third, create tokens copy of target non-legendary enchantment you control. It gains haste. If it's a saga, put up to 3 lore counters on it, sacrifice for your next end step. And the fifth one, you add double Wurg, basically, and then you flip it back over. So yeah, lots of mana to be had there. What this is, though, is, well, 3 times being able to go, hey, great enchantment over there that's not legendary, let's get an extra copy of you, again and again and again. And if they're sagas, you, like, auto-utilize them, which is very cool. So here's the thing. Yes, it's amazing. It's fun. It has a lot of different kinds of decks you can build around it. You can go super sagas. You can definitely go in that direction. You can definitely go with just giant, massive enchantments, ones especially that have great ETBs as well. You can really take advantage of those. And you can just utilize maybe even like proliferate effects to get a lot of mana off of this too. There are some really spicy things that you can do with this one. And there's a lot of opponents out there that are going to be fearful of this one, no matter what version of the deck that you build, because it's a very powerful commander. Speaking of powerful, Kuja, Genome Sorcerer is a 3/4 human mutant wizard for 4 mana and Rakdos over. Well, just one more actually than Terra. Sorry, Terra, you got beaten out by 1,054 decks last week. Yeah, just one more, but that's good enough to get to 7th place. At the beginning of your end step, create a tap 0/1 black wizard creature token with. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage each opponent. Then if you control 4 or more wizards, transform Kuja. So basically, hey, yeah, okay, we're going to get some wizards out with this. And they're going to ping opponents. And yeah, that might take some time. Of course, we can, get wizards in other ways too, obviously. 4 or more wizards. So that'd be 1 plus 2. 1 plus the other one that we have, that's 2 total. If we get 2 other wizards in play, we're already there. We just flip this. Or if we've got ways to, populate, sure, we can utilize that too to get more of those wizards. That being said, you flip it over and all of a sudden you got Trans Kuja, Fate Defied, a 4/6 avatar wizard. A wizard you control will deal damage to a permanent or player deals double that damage instead. So all those little pingy wizards now all of a sudden are dishing out twice as much damage. And of course, you are in colors that have, well, damage doubling effects, damage tripling effects, life loss doubling effects, all the lovely things. And of course, plenty of other gutter snipe type effects to just punish opponents whenever you're doing things too. And any other wizards that are actually dishing out damage now are dishing out double the damage as well, including this. Again, it's a 4/6 that's still dishing out now 8 damage too. You start pumping it a little bit and it become a 2-shot or even a 1-shot KO for you quite easily. Quite the fun commander. Ping all the things and have fun. But now let's move on to 6th place with 1,116 decks to its name over the past week. Yet Taval is still chugging along. My goodness. I mean, Tarkir Dragonstorm was a long time ago, compared to some of the other sets we've talked about and all the other cards we've talked about. But, yeah, Taval is really taking over Commander and is still being built at an absurd rate. A 4/4 Spear Dragon with flying for 4 mana and Sultai. When it attacks, mill 3 cards. You may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. Yeah, that's quite powerful. That's quite fun. It is, incredibly powerful again. This is basically like repeat mill, repeat ramp. I guess it's like, return a land card. There has to be a land in your graveyard. If you just have like 1 Evolving Wilds, you got it for the rest of the game. You just basically get an extra ramp every single turn. On top of that, you just keep getting more and more and more zombie druids, which is so much fun to pair with certain kinds of cards that maybe can just exile things out of your graveyard freely, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, Titan's Nest. And being able to just go, okay, cool, yeah, I'll just make some 2/2s, make some 2/2s, make some 2/2s, and I win. I have this giant army or aristocrat style or a landfall style, whatever kind of style you want to build around this one, this enables you to do so. And don't kill me, players out there who absolutely love other color combinations, but Sultai might be the most powerful 3-color combination in Commander. Because, yeah, these 3 colors are pretty dominant for the most part, and you get all the good things. Sorry, Boros players out there, but yeah, Sultai's pretty crazy. Anyways, Taval the balance scale, still chugging along. Moving on, Kefka Court Mage. My goodness, this commander is a house. A 4/5 human wizard for 5 mana in Grixis. Over 1,430 decks to its name over the past week. Good enough for 5th place right now on this list. Whenever it enters or attacks, each player discards a card. Then you draw a card for each card type among cards discarded this way. By paying 8, each one sacrifices a permanent of their choice. You transform Kefka and activate only as a sorcery. So first up, on the front side again, ETB or attack, forcing discard. That's nice. And again, drawing a card for each card type discarded this way, that can be quite a bit. And, yeah, I mean, even if you're just building around that side, like, being able to go, like, okay, blink, 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 and extra combat's a different way to go around it, too. But, like, blinking is safer, blinking is easier, and you've got plenty of ways to do so in this color combination. Yeah, you're going to have plenty of ways to essentially ensure that you are getting and using and abusing that ETB. And your opponents will have basically no hands. You'll just draw all the cards, and you could just win in that way. You really could. You don't even have to pretend that the backside exists. You can just go like, no, just blink, and then probably some feign death effects and some sacrifice outlets, whatever. You got it. Your opponents have no hands. They're going to lose the game. That thing being said, though, they're definitely going to lose the game when you flip this over to Kefka, Ruler of Ruin. A 5/7 avatar wizard with flying that says, whenever an opponent loses a life during your turn, you draw that many cards. Yeah, there are some combos with this, Psychosis Crawler, anyone? There are definitely some combos with it. Even if you're not comboing, it's an absolutely absurd, bonkers effect. I mean, just think about this plus, like, Exsanguinate. You're like, oh, yeah, drain my opponents. Oh, I just happened to gain all this life. Wow. Oh. I mean, get all this life. Get all these cards. Lose all the life. Opponents. Yeah, whatever all the bad things that are happening to you, the good things are happening to me. Yeah, it normally would be like, like, you lose life, I gain life. Cool, all right, great. But it's more so like, no. You lose life. I draw all the cards in the world. This is one when it comes to, like, comboing with it. You got to be careful because you got to make sure that you, like, have enough cards in your library based on, like, your opponent's life total. So you do need to make sure that that's a thing. That being said, yeah, this is an incredibly powerful commander. One that is so dominant. Again, he kind of flips that thing on its head where it's like, okay, like, yeah, life loss equals life gain. Oh, no. Life loss equals card draw. Absolutely insane. Wait until you see this next one because we've got Cloud X Soldier. That's right. Out of the Final Fantasy characters, of course, Cloud is one of the most popular ones and one of the most popular commanders as well once it hit the scene. 4th place finish over the past week, 1,510 decks to its name in total. A 4/4 human soldier mercenary for 5 mana in Naya. Haste. Enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. Whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens. I mean, it's super easy to get to power 7 or greater. Very easy. Like, the easiest thing in the world. Like, any equipment out there will probably help you do it. Not any equipment, but many equipment will help you do it, basically. So being able to get those 2 treasure tokens, that's quite nice. Of course, there are probably some really janky, weird, wonky combos. I mean, it wouldn't even take that long, I guess, to get to them. But, like, if you've got, like, oh, okay, I've got an enchantment that allows me to, I don't know, maybe pay mana and get extra combats. Yeah, that exists. It's disgusting. But yeah, being able to do that, plus like some like token doublers, plus like, oh, my artifacts, like add extra mana. Cool, there you go. You got it. You did the whole thing. That's usually what you're not going to build around necessarily, though, with that. That's very specific. Being able to go wide, though, with like a bunch of equipped creatures, there are certain, cards that, like, okay, it comes into play, you attach the, creature token to it essentially automatically. Got a couple of versions of that, basically, like living weapon type stuff. You can definitely do that kind of a deck. It's kind of funny with like Cloud with like a bunch of Phyrexian germs. Sure, that makes sense lore-wise. But yeah, being able to go, all right, whatever giant equipment's out there is typically what we're going to do. Like, okay, Colossus Hammer. It only costs 1 to get out, but like it costs so much to equip. But with Cloud, you're like, okay, ETB, attach giant thing, swing right away. Ouch. Yeah, that's kind of more so what you're going to be doing with this one. Absolutely insane. Absolutely fun. Again, like a Voltron-y type commander, but one that's also like, oh, also you could just benefit from going wide and attacking, and also treasure combo weird things. Have fun. Speaking of quote-unquote fun, Sepharoth Fabled Soldier. Oh, gross. Yeah, this is $36 right now for a reason. 1,549 decks to its name over the past week. Insane. A 3/3 human avatar soldier for 3 mana in black. Enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Whenever the creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. These 4-time abilities resolve this turn. It transform Sepharoth. Yeah, that's super easy to do. I mean, you literally could cast like Innocent Blood for a single mana. Like this, okay, a single black mana, Innocent Blood. Everyone sacrifice a creature. Cool. That happened. All right, flip it over. All of a sudden, you've got Sepharoth, 1-winged angel, a 5/5 angel nightmare avatar with flying that has, as it transforms, you get an emblem. What? You get an emblem. What? You get an emblem. Okay, yeah, you know that thing that's typically reserved for like planeswalkers, like ultimates essentially? It's like, nah, don't worry about it. We're just getting the emblem right away just because like you met like a very low to the ground requirement. Great. All right, whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's the emblem. It is basically Blood Artist emblem. And we'll talk about ways to use and abuse that. That being said, whenever a Sepharoth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. Yeah, I mean, that's super good. That's amazing. Just like a repeat, like, cool, like, mass draw? Mass reprocess, essentially? Yeah, that's amazing. That being said, I mean, that emblem is scary. That emblem is super scary. So, of course, you can take advantage of this side, obviously, and you will. But there's also definitely decks built around this one where like the entire goal is to go, okay, yeah, Sepharoth, you did your job on this side. I'm going to sacrifice you. What? Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice you, Sepharoth. Okay, and I'm going to feign death you first, though, so then you come back flipped over on the front side. And then I'm going to play another Edict effect, and we're going to have players sacrifice creatures again. And then we're going to flip you over to the backside again. I get another emblem. And you just keep stacking emblems in play because, again, opponents cannot interact with emblems. So essentially, you're just going, okay, like all the emblems in the world, any creature dying equals opponents just getting drained a ton. Blood Artist in play permanently. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy, spicy, amazing things you can do this one. There's a reason why it's $36 and it's got 1,549 decks made over the last week. Pick it up. I mean, I don't know about picking it up. Maybe proxy this one. It's super expensive. Have fun. Speaking of super expensive, though, Vivy. Vivy is $46 right now. My goodness. This adorably cute, amazing wizard. I love you, Vivy. Final Fantasy IX was amazing. But yes, being able to essentially say, Vivy, this adorable, cute little black mage, essentially was better than Sepharoth, you know, the fabled soldier. Yeah. Vivy, you go get it, right? 0/3 wizard for 3 mana in Izzet for 0 mana at X minute. Any combination of blue and or black where X is Vivy's power. Activate only during your turn only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a counter on Vivy. It deals 1 damage to each opponent. Yeah, being able to go essentially, hey, you know what? What we're going to do is have just a big burst of mana out of this tiny little wizard. I mean, here's the thing. Whenever casting on creature spells, we get counters on this. Obviously, there's other ways to get counters on it, too. You could utilize, proliferate effects as well. But even just like a solid, like, okay, I've got like a Blackblade Reforged. All right, Vivy, here, hold this sword. Okay, there's not really do much with it, but sure, I'm holding it. Good for you. Awesome. And all of a sudden, now you've got a certain amount of power. Now we can get a lot of mana out there. Now, there are certain ways to go infinite with this. I mean, Quicksilver Elemental, I believe, is the one, essentially, right? That's super easy. That being said, like Deadeye Navigator plus like enough mana to like re-equip something like a Blackblade Reforged, that would work too. Because again, you are limited to only activating once each turn, but that's just again something that you can work around in certain weird ways, like again blanking this and it coming back, and then it's a new creature technically, so then you can do it again. Yeah, even if you're not going infinite with it, again, just being able to go like, okay, cast on creature spells, ping. There's plenty of ways to take advantage of that, like curiosity type effects to just draw a bunch of cards. Also, just ways to like double up damage, triple up damage, all of that too. And of course, ways to just go, you know what, actually, let's just get Vivy a lot of power. Let's just utilize that mana for big bursty spells. You don't have to go infinite to go crazy with this one, but yeah, big burst of mana out of Izzet. Basically, Ritual Commander. Have fun. But the number one commander over the past week, again, Vivy, a ton of decks at second place, all right? 1,765. Ishtola, Knight's Blast, probably said that wrong. Over 2,000 decks over the past week still. This one is still being built a ton. 2,059 decks to be precise. First place finish over the last week, 2/4 Cat Warlock with Vigilance for 4 mana in Esper. Beginning of each end step, if the player lost 4 more life this turn, you draw a card. Or if you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, Ishtola deals 2 damage to each opponent and you gain 2 life. Yeah, that's pretty insane. Being able to go, hey, you know what I'm going to be doing throughout the game? I'm just going to be making sure players lose 4 life. Because when that happens, I draw a card. And I do say players, because it's not just opponents, it can be you as well. And this is where some of my favorite cards of all time, like Mischievous Poltergeist, life-setting cards like to call those ones can really shine with this. Because you're like, okay, I've got my card out like Mischievous Poltergeist, which has like pay 1 life regenerated. So you can just repeat, lose life whenever you want. Which normally as a Magic player, you'd be like, why would I do that? And you're like, yeah, because a draw. Cool, anyways. Being able to just go, okay, maybe this turn I didn't have a way to get opponents to lose enough life, and I'm like, I still would like to draw that card. Life is just a resource in Commander. I've got tons of it. All right, I'll pay 4 life. I'll draw a card. Good for me. So with each trip on the table, again, at the beginning of each end step, you can very easily draw 4 cards. Very simply, very easily. And again, if you are casting those non-creature spells made of value 3 or greater, you're dishing out damage to opponents. You're getting halfway there. And if you've got ways to maybe double up that life loss, there you go. That will just get you there right then and there by just casting one of those. And of course, you are gaining life each time you do so. So you are negating any kind of life loss effects that you might have as well. This is also just a commander where you can just do a lot of fun things. You can take advantage of life gain, you can take advantage of life drain, you can take advantage of casting big spells. It is a lot of fun, a high value commander that does a lot for you. And it's a lot cheaper than both Vivy and Sepharoth at $4. So there you go. There's another benefit to it as well. Again, taking over Commander right now. Over 2,000 decks in the past week. Shoal Knight's Bless. Congratulations. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.